You know that feeling when you check your bank account after paying all of your bills and you wonder, where did all my money go? Now imagine that happening even when you're making $300,000 a year. Is that even possible? Well, in today's episode, I'm going to reveal why so many families now need $200,000 plus just to maintain what we once called a middle-class lifestyle. Hey there, I am Njideka, a financial advisor who is passionate about helping everyday people build wealth in an economy that seems increasingly challenging to do so. So before we dive in, if you are finding value in this conversation, I want you to hit that thumbs up button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share this with somebody who might need this wake-up call. So first, let me take you back to a conversation that I had just last month. I met with a couple, let's call them Sarah and Mike. They said, we make over $250,000 combined, and Sarah told me, but we still feel like we're barely staying afloat. This couple lives in Seattle with their 2 children. They own a modest home, drive practical cars, and they rarely splurge on luxuries. Yet at the end of each month, they are lucky if they have a few $100s left over. Are they bad with money? Absolutely not. What many people are experiencing is the collapse of what used to define middle class in America. And in just a moment, I'm going to break down exactly where a $300,000 income actually goes in today's economy. The numbers just might shock you. So let's go over what happens to a family like Mike and Sarah who have $300,000 in income in today's economy. First, taxes claim about a third of their income. That's around $76,000 that vanishes before they even see a dime. And understand, that's more than many Americans' total annual income, just in taxes. Their mortgage for a modest 1,800 square feet home, $3,900 a month. That's nearly $47,000 a year. And in their neighborhood, this is considered affordable. Childcare for their 2 young children, that costs $44,000 annually. Yes, you heard me right. That's essentially the price of a luxury car every single year, just so both parents can work. Now, when you add healthcare premiums at $1,800 a month, retirement contributions, if they're being responsible, student loan payments, groceries, utilities, and the occasional meal out, this supposedly wealthy family might only have $3,000 to $5,000 in buffer income at the end of the year. One medical emergency or one home repair could wipe that out instantly. This isn't wealth, but this is the new face of the American middle class. You're making good money, but you still feel vulnerable, you're still stressed, and you're still one major expense away from financial trouble. Through years of working with people across all income levels, I have developed what I call the financial elevation framework. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how this framework can help you break free from financial stress regardless of your income level. So I'll start this framework by talking about how I had a consultation last month with a graphic designer making $45,000. He was telling me how he felt like he was running on a hamster wheel, working harder and harder, but never getting ahead. And if this sounds familiar, you are at what I call the foundation level. Here, your primary focus isn't investing or wealth building yet. It's creating stability. This means building what I call a first response fund. It's an emergency cushion that starts small but grows consistently. It's where you're strategically eliminating high interest debt that keeps you trapped. And it's where you're investing in your earning potential through skill development or side hustles. What many people don't realize is that financial security isn't just about the numbers. It's about breaking the cycle of financial stress that affects everything from your sleep to your relationships to your career decisions. By just implementing the first part of my framework, which just means automatically saving 5% of each paycheck, that graphic designer built a $2,800 safety net within a year. So when his car needed major repairs, instead of going into credit card debt or having to borrow from family, he had the funds ready. So next, I'll show you what happens when you move beyond the foundation level to actually building momentum with your money. The goal is for your income to increase to what I call the growth level. And that will mean that you're landing between $75,000 to $150,000 in income. At this point, the game changes a bit, because this is where small decisions can have 6-figure impacts on your future. So let's consider a woman, let's say she's a software developer and she's making $95,000. Let's say that she was saving, but haphazardly, a little here and a little there, but she didn't have any strategy and she had no momentum. Now this is where my concept of wealth building on autopilot comes in. It's about structuring your finances so that your money multiplies while you sleep. So for her, if she implemented this, that means putting maximum contributions to her employer's 401k match. So she's never leaving leaving free money on the table. That could mean consistently contributing to her Roth IRA through automatic monthly transfers. So in other words, it's a comprehensive automation system where money flows to various accounts before she can even spend it. And here's why this matters so deeply. The growth level is where compound interest begins working in your favor rather than against you. It's where the decisions that you make don't just affect you next month or next year, they affect the next decade of your life. So 6 months after implementing that system to have wealth building on autopilot, that software engineer will be saying, I don't even think about saving anymore. It just happens, and somehow I still have enough for everything I need. So as your income grows beyond 150,000, you enter what I call the optimization level. So this is where wealth building becomes an art form, a strategic game that can secure not just your future, but potentially your family's financial future for generations. At this level, you stop focusing on whether coffee costs $4 or $5. Instead, you ask transformative questions like, is my investment strategy aligned with my actual long-term goals? Or how am I using tax strategies to keep more of what I earn? Or what lifestyle actually brings me fulfillment versus what I think I should have given the income that I'm at? So for example, I remember working with a physician couple that earned over $400,000 who were still stressed about money. Why? Because they were playing small. They were obsessing over grocery bills while ignoring the $50,000 that they were losing annually to unnecessary fees and tax inefficiencies. By just restructuring their portfolio and implementing advanced tax strategies, that freed up over $35,000 annually, which was money that was now able to fund both of their retirement accounts and a family foundation that provided medical care to underserved communities, which was a cause that they deeply cared about. And that is the true potential of the optimization level. You're using money not just as security, but as a tool to create meaning and impact. And now I want to share with you the one method that can actually work at every income level of this framework. So regardless of what income you're currently at, implementing what I call the 10-80-10 balance method can create immediate structure and results. Here's how it works. First, you would apply 10% of your income towards your future self. So this is a non-negotiable allocation that goes towards retirement accounts, investments, and other funds. Second, you will put 80% of your income towards core essentials. So that's covering housing, nutrition, transportation, family care, healthcare, and other fundamental needs. And finally, you will put 10% towards life enhancements. So this can fund the experiences and items that bring joy and meaning to you. Now, depending on your debt and where you are in your journey, this may need to be knocked down to 5%. The goal of this step is simply to create a way for you to intentionally, not completely, rob yourself of some level of joy along your financial journey, even if it is small. So with all of that said, if you are ready to break free from financial stress and build real wealth, regardless of your income level, I would love to help you implement these strategies in your own life. You can look below and book a 60-minute consultation call with me by clicking the link in the description. And if you found this video helpful, you will definitely want to check out my next video, which is on how to create a $1,000 passive income stream. And this is for busy professionals. In that episode, I'm going to show you exactly how to start building income streams, even with a modest initial investment and not a lot of time. Remember, true financial success isn't about deprivation. It's about intentionality and making your money work as hard as you do. So hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my episodes on wealth building strategies. And I will see you in the next video.